Free the universe, stars around. Hey guys, today I'm making a video for my teacher. His name is Mr. Stewart. So go shout out him. Like, come on, like shout out Mr. Stewart, okay? Cause he goes to a lot of Arizona Wildcats games. So I decided, why not we make a video about Caleb Love? Cause he knows who Caleb Love is, and obviously Caleb Love went to North Carolina before Arizona, so yeah. So before we can continue talking about Caleb Love, I want you guys to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more of my epic J-Dog content. Dude, and my teacher just sent me pictures of him because, like I said, he goes to Wildcats games. He flies the blimp at halftime, which is pretty dope. But anyways, Caleb Love is one of his guys. So I am going to make a video on how to make him in 2K. Now, I know I made one back in 2023, but I'm going to show you how to make a new version of Caleb Love with a new haircut. Because the one when I showed you, he was with the Carolina, I almost said Carolina Panthers, dude. He is not in the NFL. So, yeah, we did make him back in 2023 when he had dreadlocks. And he was still with the Tar Heels. So now that he's with the Wildcats, we're going to create him again in 2K. We're going to make him again in 2K. But this time a new, fresh version of Caleb Love. So let's get started. So let's talk about Caleb Love at high school. And then we'll talk a little bit more about I wish that he was in the NBA already. Okay? So, for high school, he attended Christian Brothers College High School in St. Louis, Missouri, and was coached by Justin Tatum, father of NBA player Jason Tatum. Dude, that is so cool. Caleb Love getting coached by Jason Tatum's dad. You know how good Jason Tatum is right now? He is killing it for the Celtics right now. They're the second best in the East. And they're competing against Cleveland right now, which is fun. In his, I don't know if this was his freshman, sophomore, senior, whatever year, but he averaged 18.9 points per game and 4.3 points per game. Oh, okay, he was a junior when he averaged this much points. He transitioned to point guard. He led the school to Class 5 runner-up to Rockbridge High School, and then Love scored a career-high 42 points. And, oops, I did not mean to do that. Anyways, he averaged a career-high 42 points against East State Louis High School as a senior, and also scored 40 points against the Cardinal Ritter High School. And then in his last year of high school, in his senior year, he averaged 26.3 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists per game, and 2.6 steals per game. And then he led the team to the Class 5 Final Four, where Love was named Mr. Show Me Basketball and Gatorade Player of the Year in Missouri. He was also named a McDonald's All-American game and became the second player from Christian Brothers to be so honored by Larry Hughes. Okay, I think I know who Larry Hughes is. I'll be back. I gotta charge my camera. But anyways, he was honored after Larry Hughes, like I said, which was back in 1997. And then here is Caleb Love recruiting. So Love was ranked the number 2 point guard and number 7 overall in the class of 2020 by 247 sports. He committed to playing college basketball for North Carolina on October 1st, 2019, choosing the Tar Heels over Missouri, Louisville, and Tennessee, among others. I like the choice that he picked North Carolina, not gonna lie, because, I don't know, I just think Louisville and Kansas were the perfect teams that he turned down. Love was attracted to North Carolina because of Coach Roy Williams, and he had the opportunity to play lead guard. So, hometown St. Louis, he is 6'3". Now, let's move on. Let's talk about his college career, because everyone wants to know that. So, in his freshman year, he played for North Carolina. In his college debut, Love led all scorers with 17 points and posted 4 assists. And 2 steals in a 79-60 win over the College of Charleston. And then on January 20th, 2021, on my uncle's birthday, Love scored 20 points in a 80-73 win over Wake Forest. And then on January 25th, 2021, Love was named ACC Freshman of the Week. And then on February 6, 2021, Love scored, and then a career high in college, 25 points and 7 assists in a 91-87 victory over the team's rival, Duke. And then on February 8th, 2 days later, he earned his second Atlantic Coast Freshman of the Week honor. He was named to the ACE All-Freshman team, and then after averaging 10.5 points per game, 3.5 assists per game. So, congrats for him for making ACE Freshman of the Year. And then, following the season, longtime Tar Heel head coach Roy Williams retired, which I think I remember hearing about that on TV yesterday. And then after Dilla Birding, Love decided to return to Chapel Hill for his sophomore season. So he decided to stay in North Carolina. In head coach Herbert Davis, who they signed after Roy Williams retired. And then Love was the key piece of a starting lineup that became as the Iron Five. The lineup included himself, R.J. Davis, who's also pretty good, Leaky Black, Brady Manick, and Armando Baycock. And his Armando Baycock's brother's name is King Baycock. But Armando Baycock, he was pretty good with North Carolina. I don't really like Brady Manick, though. Like, he has an ugly hair. And he hit Jeremy Sockin in the face. Oh, yeah. Did I say they had Leaky Black? Leaky Black is not good in the NBA. Anyways, in the beginning, as an up-and-down season for both Love and the rest of the team, the Iron Five became crucial to the team's success down the stretch in their run to the national championship game. And in total, on the season, Love set career highs in three-point field goal percentages. Great news. And he played 39 games during that season. He finished his sophomore year with 15.9 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game on the season. And then he had a 37.1% from the floor and 36% from beyond the three-point line. And then they made the 2022 tournament, where Love scored 27 of his then career high 30 points in the second half. And they won 73-66 in the March Madness in the Sweet 16 against UCLA. And then in the following Final Four matchup with Duke Blue Devils, Love scored 28 points, including a late three-point shot seen as a pivotal Tar Heels 81-77 victory, which ended, what was his name? He coached Duke. I forgot his name. Was it Krevashevsky? I don't know. But anyways, he ended his... But the craziest news is during that 2022 tournament, he actually helped get rid of St. Peter's, who were actually on a Cinderella run during the 2022 March Madness. But Love and the crew decided to get rid of them because they didn't want St. Peter's going to the national championship. That ain't gonna happen. So Caleb Love and them were able to stop them. So In the championship game, he rolled his ankle, and he was not doing too good. He did not make good shots. He did horrible in the championship game against Kansas. And then Kansas, who came back in the second half, and they ended up winning the title all. And UNC lost the title, but Love only had 13 points on 5 of 24 shooting. In his junior year, he decided to play one more year. Obviously, they did not make the March Madness last year. Was it last year? No, the year before that. Yeah, the year before that, they did not make the March Madness, but Love did good. So after the late season success of this prior season, Love, Black, RJ Davis, and Baycock all decided to return for the 2022-2023 season, despite a preseason #1 ranking and massive expectations. The season went away quickly for Love and his teammates. Still, Love was the key piece in that starting lineup, and I believe he started his first couple of games, 32 of 33 games, and then came off the bench on UNC's senior night, because he's not a senior. That's why he came off the bench, I guess. The Tar Heels stumbled to a record of 20-13 in Herbert Davis's second season. Despite Love's shooting worse from the foul line, which means he did not do spectacular at the free throw line, which is not good. He struggled a little bit on his 3 points. So he was bad from the free throw line and the 3-point line, I guess. So he had a new career high overall field goal percentage, 37.8%, points per game, 6.7, and then rebounds per game, 3.7. So he had 16.7 points per game, just not enough. Next up is his senior year, where he came to my hometown, Arizona. When he first came to Arizona, I should have told him, hey, dude, are you sure you want to be here? There's hot weather. So, guys, he plays basketball like 20 minutes away from my Nana and Tata's house. Whew! That is crazy. And we actually do not live that far from Love. Imagine Caleb Love was like my neighbor and I didn't know it. But anyways, we're talking about his senior year now. And in his senior year, he committed to play his senior year at Michigan. But however, psych, he decided to decommit from the Wolverines and head back into transfer portal, reportedly due to an issue with transfer credits. He announced he would commit to the Arizona Wildcats instead. He's like, no, I'm not going to the Wolverines. They suck. Well, I don't think that's what happened, okay? So, on May 30th, 2023, he was on this. They announced this on social media when he was going to be going to the Wildcats. Love made his Wildcats debut on November 6th, 2023, scoring 12 points and dishing out 4 assists in a 122-59 victory over Morgan State. Ooh, they blew him out. That's tough. They beat them by like 42. That is crazy. Love made his return to Cameron Indoor Stadium on November 10th and beat number 2 Duke 78-73, snapping their 17-game home winning streak. And then on December 6th, 2023, Love had a game-high 29 with the Wildcats, and he had 6 rebounds, but they lost to the number 3 seed Purdue, marking the first Arizona loss of the season, aka Caleb Love's first loss with the Wildcats. So on January 6th, they played against Utah College, where Love had 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists on a 60% from the field in a 92-73 victory. The next game was against Washington State. Love finished with 28, 18 rebounds, and they lost by 3 points, 73-70. I'm guessing Jaden Bradley missed it. I don't know. There was a lot of players on there that probably shot it. It doesn't matter, though. On January 27th, Love went 12 for 18 from the field and scored a career-high 36. Woo! That's nice. And they won, too, which is good news. And then in his 36 points tied the single-game scoring record at Matthew Knight Arena. And then on February 8th, 2024, I believe, he recorded his first double-double in a triple overtime road victory against Utah, finishing with 19 points and 10 rebounds against Washington. And then on February 24th, 2024, Love poured in 28 points and reached 20,000 collegiate points, guys. So, next up is the March Madness. Well, technically, they were getting ready for the March Madness. So, on March 12th, 2024, Love was awarded the Pac-12 Player of the Year award and became the 10th Arizona Wildcat to win the award. And then Love averaged a team-high 18.7 points on 73% from the field and 35.2% from three-point range. And he added 4.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 1.2 steals in a 32.2 minutes played. Wow, he played a lot of minutes. He helped Arizona earn the number 2 seed in the West region of the 2024 NCAA tournament. They advanced to the Sweet 16, so they made it past the first round, second round. Then they made it to the Sweet 16, but unfortunately they lost to perhaps Clemson had brothers, last name Hunters, and they took over, and they lost. And Love did not do good at his three-pointers, as he missed about 9 of his three-point attempts. Ouch. So, he graduated, I guess. But this doesn't make any sense, so we'll get to that in a point. Love announced via his social media accounts on May 29th, 2024, that he would withdraw from the 2024 NBA draft and return to Arizona for his graduate season. So he hasn't graduated yet. Why? Dude, you know how bad I wanted him to go to the NBA this year? I'm like, hopefully he goes to the NBA. And then I waited like a year ago too. Come on, are you going to go to the NBA? I made him in 2K, added him to the NBA, and I'm like, come on, are you going to make the NBA? Come on, we want you to go to the NBA, okay? We want you to go to the NBA. Come on, let's go to the NBA already. And then 2024 came, I was hoping, yes, finally he's going to the NBA. Nope. You know, his teammates did go, though. Pelly Larson and Kashad Johnson, who actually played with San Diego the year prior, who remembers when they made it all the way to the national championship. But I really wanted Caleb Love to go to the NBA this year. So I don't think he's ever gonna go to the NBA. What do you guys think? And the same thing with RJ Davis. Is he ever gonna go to the NBA? Is DeJuan Harris ever gonna go to the NBA? Like, what is up with these dudes playing from like their freshman year all the way to like the end of college? Like, come on, dude. Come on, Caleb Love. I want to see you in the NBA. I want to see if you're good or not. Oh yeah, and he's very athletic, guys. He's very athletic. So Caleb Love has a lot on his plate right now for now. So I don't know if he's gonna ever go to the NBA, like I said. But guys, we're gonna talk about his amazing performance this season. He hit a game winner against... No, sorry, it was not a game winner. What am I talking about? I'm tripping. It was a half-court shot, guys. And my teacher was at that game. But too bad he did not see the half-court buzzer beater in person. That would be cool if he saw it in person. It was like half-courtish. and he launched it. It went in off the backboard, and this happened about 30 minutes away from my house. This half-court shot to force OT happened 30 minutes away from where I am right now. So, Caleb Love did amazing in that game. They came back in OT and they were able to win. And then what else? In that same game, he had a nasty dunk. And my dad is also a Wildcats fan, so I'm surprised he doesn't watch Arizona Wildcats basketball. I mean, he finally watched it like once this year, but that was it. But Caleb Love is a really good guy, and hopefully he makes the NBA one day. And then my teacher just recently sent me pictures of Caleb Love. He took a picture of Caleb Love in person. Although Caleb Love didn't know he was taking pictures, it's not like my teacher said, "Hey, Caleb Love, can I get a picture, bro?" Like, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He just saw him, took a picture, and sent me them. I can't believe my teacher took a picture of him in person. That is so cool, dude. Just imagine if I saw Caleb Love. Now, I'm not really a Wildcats fan, but I'm mostly an ASU fan. But maybe U of A is not that bad after all. I do like Caleb Love. And that's why I wanted him in the NBA so bad. So, shout out to my teacher, because this is the reason why I decided, why not make a video and show him this Caleb Love video I made. I cannot wait to see his reaction. Woo-hoo-hoo. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and if you want Caleb Love to go to the NBA this year, make sure to subscribe. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more J-Dog content. And remember, we're going to make a new version of Caleb Love on 2K, and we're going to make that video soon, so I'm going to show you how to make a new version of Caleb Love. But anyways, I'm J-Dog, and I'm out. Peace.